But
the fact that I didn't even know of this story or this rumor until I sat down.
Well, neither did I, for the record.
Then we're not experts.
Well, I don't necessarily know about that because there is such an abundance of information out there.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the expert portion that I would talk about, or that why it would be interesting to get your perspective, is because of the amount of exposure that you've had to these products and the unique connection over the past few years. For most people, they get to experience and handle one device, one phone.
Sure.
For you, it would be many, which would enhance your expertise. Maybe not to the point of expert,
right,
but beyond typical.
Sure.
Do you think an EInk display could enhance a smartphone? In this case, they're referencing an iPhone. This is coming via 9 to 5 Mac. EInk iPhone display could combine Apple quality with near zero impact on battery life.
So we've used, I think you've used phones with displays on the back, right? Like the secondary display.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them I've actually used for an extended period of time. I don't find them particularly useful though. That second screen. I think it makes it like if you could depend on that EInk display for a lot of stuff, maybe.
Like notifications?
No, it has to go beyond that. It can't just be notifications. It's got to be like you got to be able to manipulate and interact with.
What about the idea of being able to use your rear cameras to take a better photo than what your selfie camera is capable of and be able to frame it on the exterior display? This obviously wouldn't work for EInk, but
right.
Just a second display in general. Because I know some brands have shown it off.
Yeah.
Like that feature.
Asus did it with the Flip, right?
That's right.
I think it's cool, but that's a lot. You're putting so much into a device just for that fairly gimmicky feature.
So it's a gimmick.
I said gimmicky.
Oh.
It's leaning
It's
towards
almost a gimmick.
Yeah.
It's getting closer.
Yeah.
A report this morning says that we may see in the future an EInk iPhone display as a secondary screen on a folding phone. Well, a folding phone is also different because folding phones typically do have an external display because you need to be able to interact with it
while closed.
The most likely interpretation of a follow-up tweet is that Apple is testing a type of color EInk display that offers crisper text, brighter displays, and richer colors than conventional technology. I suppose the other advantage here is they don't use very much battery.
I'm going to tweet this real quick or retweet Lou's thing. They don't, EInks. The idea is cool, but think about how ugly that thing would look. Like EInk on...
But what if it makes it sound like they came up with a better tech that looks better. Is it possible? Maybe.
Oh, so they're saying it's for their foldable.
Yeah. Apple is testing. This is from Ming Chi, by the way, and he's
pretty good with it.
Well,
he's got his hand on the pulse.
It's interesting. He did a follow-up saying EInk in this tweet is a company name, not Electronic Ink. Oh.
I did not know that.
So it's a different type of display called electronic paper display, or EPD. The color EPD has the potential to become a mainstream solution for foldable devices. Must have cover second screen thanks to its excellent power saving. I mean, Apple seems to care more about battery life than ever before with all these Max devices.
Okay, once you throw foldable into the equation, my take on this is very different.
Go ahead.
Because I think with foldables, we've always had that issue of how do you interact with it while it's closed? So you have to put this battery intensive and like big screen on the front. That makes sense. If you have a EInk or like a low power display, like ultra low power display, still interact with stuff, then I'm on board. Why did I not read the title properly? I didn't realize that they were talking about foldables.
Well, it's really weird because also at the top they say EInk, but then Ming Chi updates his tweet to say it's the name of a company making an EPD, electronic paper display. So he's saying EInk in his tweet is the company name, not electronic ink, the way you might perceive it on like a Kindle or something like that. So I presume that these EPD displays are quite an improvement over what you've probably seen on an ebook reader, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
And it might be sufficient for the exterior.
Right.
Of
If
a
it
device.
is, that'd be pretty cool. I feel like that would solve a couple things that foldable devices inherently have.
Yeah, and the other thing about foldable devices is, especially with that really large internal display, they're not the best on battery life, even the one that I've been carrying around.
You're using a foldable as your daily?
I've been using the
Fold 3?
the Z Fold 3 for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I switched at one point to, I don't even remember what it was, Will. Probably like S22 or something, and then right back to it.
Yeah.
Because I have kind of made that usage adjustment to now sort of expect that
Screen.
interaction.
What do you like about it? The giant screen?
Yeah, as far as like, I don't use a tablet. I don't use an iPad.
Yeah.
I never reach for those things. And if I ever do, they're never charged. It's just, it doesn't get used frequently enough. And speaking about this watch, which is not a Pixel watch, like one of the things I love about this watch, this is a Withings sort of smartwatch, but not like crazy smart.
Okay.
It has a month-long battery life.
Oh, that's huge.
And to pick it up like a regular watch and never have it ask me to charge it.
Yeah.
Which is like I got jobs already.
Yeah.
I got tasks. And
This is what you have?
Yeah. And I've had this, listen, people are going to be yelling at me and say, what's the big deal? You just put it on the dock every night. And I'm telling you,
I know, dude.
there would be moments where you wouldn't do it, or you'd be traveling and you didn't bring it, and then you just get out of the habit of wearing it. And in the meantime, this one is doing most of what I would do anyway. It can do my heart rate. It's going to track your activity. And it's just because I don't have to have a big, vibrant display I'm looking at, which I don't even mind from the look perspective.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Then I'm getting the advantages I care about with this, because I don't really need notifications on my wrist. I mean, my phone is in Do Not Disturb 99% of the time.
I think the people that don't understand that are just built different. Like, some people are very good at religiously charging their devices, and they're fine.
I know.
I have a tough time even charging my phone. My phone hasn't been at 100% full charge for like probably 3 months.
Wow.
It'll hit 0, and I juice it up for like 20 minutes, and I go.
Interesting.
And then
So you don't like the idea of anything charging beside your bed?
No, I like listen to stuff or like use my phone until I pass out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a terrible habit.
Right.
But
I would have thought you would have a cable or a charge pad just like right there to flop it onto.
I don't. I should.
No, I find this to be quite interesting, the way that people interact with this stuff. Where do you stand on that, Will?
I charge it every night.
Right beside your head?
Right beside my head.
Yeah. See, some people are against that. They say like leave it out the room completely. Yeah. Think about the number
For what?
Well, I mean, just think of the number of hours. I mean, it's a very intimate relationship that you have with that device. Like, what's the last thing you see before you close your eyes, and the first thing you see when you wake up?
Your phone?
It's pretty wild. Like, you kiss and tuck that thing in. Little ritual you have.
Yeah. I just watch shows when I sleep, though, like as I sleep.
No, I know, but there's like a proximity aspect.
No, I know what you mean.
An intimacy aspect. Like, if something's on the TV in the background, it's not to the same extent. And the way ambient light interacts with it is not to the same extent. It doesn't fill your field of view.
Yeah.
You notice this with children. If they watch a show on TV, they're way less entranced than if you hand them an iPad.
Totally.
You hand them something they're holding, they pull it to
right in their grill, and they're like, I'm in. I'm watching Spider-Man.
It's like an interim headset.
Yeah.
I can't see anything but content.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I've noticed this recently with my daughter, who's like almost 3.
Yeah.
It's not the content, it's the vehicle the content's being delivered through.
Yeah.
That's the key characteristic.